What's up guys, YGO coming at you with a Psy-Frame profile, also known as the deck to play if you want your friends to hate you. I can testify this because I played it against my friends and they hate me now. So, interesting deck. You play on your opponent's turn, more or less, and, you know, solid anti-meta. Have the field spelled up and gears in your hand, and you can pretty much stop your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So, not a bad thing, unless, you know, your opponent. But we'll get right into it. We're running triple alpha Psy-Framegear. Obviously, he activates when your opponent normal or special summons a monster. You summon him along with a Psy-Frame Driver from hand, deck, or graveyard, and then you can add any Psy-Frame card from your deck to your hand. Obviously, this is super key because A, it's almost always live, your opponent's going to summon something, and B, it searches out the field spell or the trap card, which are just such powerful cards in this deck. So definitely a 3 of. We're also running triple beta. All the gears have a condition that you have to control no monsters to activate their effect, so he activates when your opponent attacks you directly. That's probably going to happen, definitely a 3 of. He'll negate and destroy the attacking monster and the battle phase, and then if you have the field spell out, you can do your shenanigans. We're also going to be running triple delta. Spell cards are like the meta now, more or less, with obviously pendulum spells and obviously just so few traps running around, but I played against this deck, or against Infernoids with this deck, and I swear every time they drop Reasoning, I drop Delta, and my friend hates me, so it's definitely helpful in a pendulum format, definitely a 3 of, negate, destroy the spell, and then you can get out on level 8 like Omega with the field spell. Running triple gamma, again, just something that always happens when they activate a monster effect, negate, destroy, and summon this and a driver, so mandatory thing right there in my opinion. I am actually running 2 Epsilon. This is bad. I've used it like twice. It's typically used as fodder for the trap card effect to banish a Psy-Frame card from your hand or field, and one on their field face down, which is super powerful, and it's a great side out card, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend running this. I might recommend, well, pretty much anything else. But I like it for the, like I said, the trap card, and I've done it once or twice that I've negated a trap card against like Burning Abyss or whatever, so I'm running 2 Psy-Frame Driver. You might recommend playing 3, in which case go ahead, drop an Epsilon, throw this in. I find 2 works because he's pretty dead in the hand, and you don't want to run him too much, but at the same time, if you lose one, then it can be particularly hurtful. But really, he's there to just synchro with and allow your gears to function. I'm running triple card E because it's fucking Psy-Frame and you may as well. You control no monsters when you use this effect and you thin through the deck, so it's obvious. I am running 2 Wind Up Rabbit just because you can banish himself during the standby phase and then, you know, use your gear effects, which is obviously very handy. Another option might be Evil Swarm Thunderbird, you know, chain it, come back, it's a 19 beater instead of 14. I'm preferring Wind Up Rabbit, that's just me. For the spell lineup, obviously triple of the field spell. The field spell lets you synchro on your opponent's turn. That's key because all the gears banish themselves and the driver at the end of the turn, at the end phase. So this lets you actually synchro when you use your fucking gears, which is beautiful. It also has like an honest effect type thing where you can pitch a Psy-Frame monster gains the attack of the Psy-Frame you pitch. So if you know, pitch a Epsilon, it'll gain 1,000 attack, but no one uses that. It's there to synchro. Because it's so important, I'm running 2 Terraforming. Might recommend 3 and Chicken Game nonsense just to make sure you have it, but I'm finding this has worked well enough for me. I'm running 2 Psychic Field Zones just to recover banished drivers and whatnot, and just, you know, you can put a Omega back in the grave along with a level 1 to pull out Overmind Archfiend. There's a lot of potential with this card. It's just super great to have, and definitely one I run 2 of. 3 I found to be cloggy, however. I'm running 3 MST. You might want Twin Twister. This is a bit outdated in that sense, but I find MST works just for the scales and disruption and whatnot, and the discard cost can be decently heavy since you don't want to get rid of your gears, you want them in your hand. That makes my spell lineup. For the traps, like I said, triple Psy-Frame Overload. When it goes to the graveyard, you can add any Psy-Frame from the deck to the hand, and more importantly, once per turn, you can banish a Psy-Frame monster from your hand or face up on your field, and then target one card your opponent controls and banish it face down. So they won't get any effects from the banishing if they were to, and it's just like it completely removes it from the game, which is obviously very lovely. I'm running 2 Breakthrough Skill because I don't like monster effects straight up. 2 Psychic Overload. It's a bit slow, but I find the recovery tends to help, and with thinning through the deck with Card D, it isn't bad, and at worst case it's bait to set. Twin Twister bait. Target 3 Psychic monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck and draw 2. Kind of like a really slow Yang Zing Avarice, or I guess Path, but you know. 1 Bottomless because Pendulum, 1 Warning because Pendulum. That makes the trap lineup pretty self-explanatory. I'm running 2 Omegas, because Omega is the deck and it's also expensive, so not 3. But tag out, rip something from their hand, you know, when it goes to the graveyard, put it back into the extra deck to make it again later. Just so versatile, and it fetches a banished monster during your opponent's standby phase, so if you have a banished driver, you can put it back in the graveyard for use. Just way too good not to play. I'm also playing 2 Zeta. Zeta, you can target 1 face-up attack position your monster controls, tag out with both of them. Not bad. Both of them get rid of themselves off your field, so you can continue to use your gears, which is obviously fantastic, and they're pretty much the only monsters I use. I don't really go into anything else, but I have other things, obviously, because you need 15, and just in case. As mentioned, Overmind Archfiend is played, just return an Omega that's banished, and a gear, and you pull out this 33 beat stick, which is not bad by any means, and it looks cool, so why the hell not? In the name of Archfiend, I'm running Thought Ruler Archfiend, a Psychic, which just helps, and then, you know, gain life points is obviously fantastic, and a solid level 8. I'm running 1 Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend because he looks cooler than Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, and that's pretty much why. They both accomplish more or less the same thing. Crimson Blader because it can stop Cosmo pretty damn easily, and you know, Ignister plays and all that nonsense. 1 Scrap Dragon for a solid level 8, as well as Stardust Spark Dragon, just, you know, save Omega if you can't banish it for some reason because they don't have a hand or something like that. And then also 1 Michael because it's targeting banishing is just beautiful. 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon. Things like Cosmo playing field spell and obviously your own, just search it out because it's so important. It's pretty much mandatory in this deck. I'm playing both Black Roses, Moonlight, and Classic. Nuke the field on the opponent's turn is so great with, you know, like Alpha or something, and then bouncing high-level monsters like Ignister can come in handy. And then finally rounding it off, I'm playing 1 Yazi for that untargetable ability, which isn't as, you know, effective in this meta, but it's just a solid card to have in the extra deck in my opinion. And so that makes my Psy-Frame deck. Play this, make your friends hate you, it's a good time. It's not a bad deck, it's not a good deck, it's a good anti-meta deck though, I'll say that much. But yeah, it's, other than Omega, it's relatively cheap, I believe. And fuck it, that's all I have to say about it. It's fucking Psy-Frames. Clearly you don't value your opponent as a person, so have fun with that stuff. Go ahead, leave a comment if you want me to do another profile or side deck guide or not Upstart Goblin, wow. Single card discussion, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you next time on YGO Strats.